Buddy Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Oshi chapter 141. But before I get into this recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel, and in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored, and we ain't sponsored by Shueisha, and we ain't sponsored by Manga Plus. And considering how much we promote Manga Plus on this channel, it's kind of surprising, right? But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable little Bubba Kitty, who's somewhere around here, and this operation literally alive and kicking, so we could keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one, feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below. So, you know, I really appreciate arcs like this because it is the epitome of why manga is therapeutic. Not for me specifically, but for those that are victims of grooming / molestation, especially young boys that are victims of grooming and molestation. Because there is a societal double standard where if you are a girl that is groomed / molested by an older man, that the man, you know, is a pedophile, predator, gross, needs to hit the wood chipper, all of that. But if you are a boy that was molested and groomed by a good-looking older woman, say like a young boy like Kamiki, getting molested by someone like Irie, that like a good chunk of men, women, and those in between would be like, where the fuck was that when I was 12? But people that, you know, especially, you know, the young men that were victims of grooming are still traumatized to it. They never get over that trauma. Hell, I know men that are in their 40s that are still traumatized from when they were molested by older women. I do. So if you are a victim of grooming, especially if you are a man that that was molested by an older woman, I want to know what you guys think of this arc, and if you can definitely relate to what Kamiki experienced. I do. And if you are on Twitter, please, you know, sound off on your experiences with this. If you can, anyway, if you feel comfortable with it. Please sound off on your experiences with this, and if you really appreciate this content, tag Aka and let him know. Please do, because mangaka really appreciate this feedback. They do. Especially when it comes to sensitive content like this. But anyways, let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us this week. And this chapter is titled Chain. Scene 8, Irie Himekawa's verbal attack. After talking to Kamiki, wait, I went to see Irie Himekawa? Wait, I confronted Irie? Yeah, go I! Yeah! So you could see, and technically we kind of saw it at the end of the last chapter too. I saw how much Irie's grooming, you know, / molestation was really hurting and, you know, affecting and traumatizing Kamiki. I really appreciate what Aka's doing. I do. So, again, men, and you know what? I will include women in this too, that have been molested / groomed, even by older men. I want to know what if you can relate to this. So what? This is free love. Mind your own business. Fuck off, Map. love to a point. Hikaru came to me of his own will. He thinks and acts on his own. Am I wrong? Hikaru said because it's the right thing to do. He's still a child, you know. He's at the age where he's trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. That... See, I is fucking 1,000% right. Because what Hikaru said, because it's the right thing to do, that's probably because Irie told him that, and yeah, that's some groomer shit. And what I said here, he's still a child, you know. He's at the age where he's trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. But you forced him to take responsibility. Shouldn't adults be the one empathizing with children for their ignorance? If adults don't protect children, what can anyone do about it? You're nothing but a sex offender! Yeah! Get her, She's a billion% right! Get her! Get that pedophile! You have me... I can't stand motherfuckers that are going after Lolicon and, to an extent, Shotacon, but it's mostly I don't know why motherfuckers keep going after Lolicon. It's a completely different story. I'm not even a Lolicon or a Shotacon. I am an Oppai woman. I love my Oppais. I love Oppai waifus. I love them. Nah. But if you love your fictional waifus, fine. A good chunk of them are not minors either. Nah. Or fictional minors. Nah. Some of them are freaking 9,000-year-old goddesses that just look like kids. Who fucking cares? Some of them are just short. Who cares? My mom is like 5'3". So, some people just like short women. Who cares? But this right here, this is an actual pedophile. That's why I can't stand these motherfuckers that are trying to be keyboard warriors defending fictional children. It's like, there's people like this bitch here who's an actual pedophile. Go after actual pedophiles, you dumbasses. I'm gonna read this again here, because I is straight up preaching. Hikaru said because it's the right thing to do. He's still a child, you know. He's at the age where he's trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. But you forced him to take responsibility. Shouldn't adults be the one empathizing with children for their ignorance? Yeah, you dumb asshole, terminally ill activist. Terminally online ill activist. There we go. Dumbass zoomers, I swear. If adults don't protect children, what can anyone do about it? Yeah, and we're not talking about fictional children. We're talking about real children. And some of these motherfuckers doing this, they're still children. They are. These people are under the age of 18 that are doing this. They don't know any better. Seriously, they don't know any better. Fuck, some of these people are getting groomed and they don't even know it. Fucking dumb asshole fatherless, I swear to God. You know, I'm gonna say this. Let me finish this up. If adults don't protect children, what can anyone do about it? You're nothing but a sex offender. You know what? Despite how dysfunctional my family is, at least I got a good head on my shoulder. I do have somewhat of a good head on my shoulders. I do. I know what's right and wrong. I ain't stupid. My parents did instill that into me. I know what's right and wrong. I do. And also, you know, Brian, God rest his soul. God bless and rest his soul. He did help me as an adult. He did help me with that too. Anyways, I might have been physically and verbally abused growing up, but I was never sexually abused. I want to make that clear for those of you that are, that have not followed me long enough. What the hell? Okay, now let's get to this response here from Irie. What the hell? Why should I be the only one to blame? I've lived my life experiencing the same things, you know. Whoa! I take everything good or filthy in this entertainment world. They keep telling me that it's the right thing to do. Oh, this is projection. I believe them and made it this far. Why should I be the only one exploited by men? Okay, so what Irie has experienced here is something called the casting couch. Oh, damn straight. And we've seen these bitches before. You know these bitches that, especially that came out during the Me Too movement, and were bitching about the being taken advantage of and all that shit. Look, here's the thing with the casting couch, okay? Here's my thing on it. Look, there's a couple of ways you can go about this. If you're over 18 and you did this consensually, that is on you. You did this of your own free will. Now, if you are one of those stage moms or whatnot, and you pushed your underage kid to do casting couch shit, then you are a disgusting human being, and that is not the kid's fault. That is your fault. You are gross. That is the parents' fault. Now, Irie, it's based on what I'm seeing here, it is her fault. She allowed this. She consented to this. She did this. She allowed herself to be taken advantage of by men. So that is your fault, bitch, and you are projecting your shit onto Kamiki, and that is gross. That is fucking gross. I really love Hikaru, and I've been kind to him. His experience is 100 times better than mine. Well, yeah, because you consented to fucking older men, probably gross-ass older men on the casting couch to get ahead in your career. You chose to do that. Again, unless her parents did this, pushed her to do it, which, based on what I'm seeing, I don't think she did. I'm very curious what you guys think. Do you guys think that, based on what she's saying here, based on what she's saying here, I don't think it was her. Nah, she did this of her own free will. I think she did this of her own free will. She wasn't pushed by her parents. Nah. But if she started acting like, again, if she was at Hikaru's age, if she was at Kamiki's age when she did this, then that's a whole different story. But if she started acting like when she was like, you know what, I'm gonna be generous here. If she was acting when she was like 16 or something like that, then that's still on her. She chose to do it. Why should I be the only one Bitch, you chose to get exploited by men. You are just projecting onto Hikaru. That's what you're doing. And also, two wrongs don't make a right either. You chose to get exploited by older men to get ahead in the business. You chose to go the casting couch route. You chose to do this. You fucking dumbass bitch. You really love Hikaru? Well, yeah, his experience is 100 times better than... You saying his experience is 100 times better than yours? Motherfucker, you don't know shit. You're full of shit, Irie. The reason why she thinks it's 100 times better is because he's fucking a good-looking woman. Is this what they call a negative chain reaction? Making a move on children is out of the question, though. It should never happen. Exactly. We're looking at you, Dan Snyder. There are many cases where victims turn into offenders due to sex problems. See? Many people think that if your dignity is taken away through sex, you can only get it back through sex, which is very true. In the end, this industry is inseparable from that kind of thing. Again, which is true in Hollywood as well. In the second half of Showa, which is the era of Japanese history that runs from 1926 to 1989. Oh, the year I was born is 89. There was a time when famous actresses became the mistresses of gang leaders. It was the same 20 years ago when Irie Himekawa was still active. My point! What did I say? What did I say? I said that this was some casting couch shit. She chose to do this. Unless this was like some casting couch, unless this was like some stage parent shit or like stuff that we saw with, say, Dan Snyder is, again, a good example of this. What we saw with, like, Dan Snyder and Jeanette McCurdy. There we go. Stuff like that. If it was something like with the stage parenting, like what we saw with, like, Britney Spears or Lindsay Lohan, if we had shit like that going down, or Epstein Island, if we had shit like that going down, that's a whole different story. But if it's like this, nah, Irie, this is all on you. You consented to this. You allowed yourself to get taken advantage of by men, and you're projecting. This is pedophilic projection. Well, actually, I should be saying this is just projection. There are many agencies that invited young clueless celebrities, whether they were minors or not, to drink with important people and encouraged them to use women for business. I heard it's still messed up now. I heard it was really messed up back then, but now we live in a better era with fewer agencies like that. It still exists. Yeah. It's nice that all we have to do now is rush over and play hostess with old men. Old men when the producer calls, even if it's late at night, right? Mm-hmm. Huh? You call that improvement? Gotta use... Us women can use our feminine wiles. Even now, influential men still make young women gather around. The only difference is that the individuals... Oh, sorry, I fucked this up. In the end, the people who lived in that era are doing the same to the next generation. It's never gonna end. But... I would say that women... It's not just men doing it. Let's be fucking real. Women are doing it too. Let's be real. Women are also doing it too. Even now, influential men still make young women gather around. The only difference is that the individuals are now doing what agencies used to do. Everything will be fine. They'll see young women who don't know any better next to influential men, telling them that this is the right thing to do or that their success depends on their efforts. Again? Consent! When I was still active, I was also invited to drinking parties. I was clueless about, like, every night. They just asked me to come because there were some powerful figures there. See, here's the thing. You gotta know how to work a room. Would I say I was clueless around influential figures? I'm gonna say this. You know how I make connections? I wasn't taken advantage of by influential figures like that, like sexually. Nah. No, I'm not. I never was. I never met, like, I wouldn't say this. I never met, like, Hollywood celebrities. Well, when I was a baby, I met Mr. T. Or my mom met Mr. T. My mom has met, like, Robin Williams, too. And she took care of Sharon Stone this is when my mom was working at UCSF. She actually took care of Sharon Stone. I'm dead ass serious. And she met Robin Williams a few times because he went to visit the kids every year at the children's hospital, at UCSF's children's hospital every Christmas. So she met Robin Williams a few times and talked to Bill Clinton on the phone, which was really cool. But yeah, the thing is for me, I've actually met quite a few people. Like, obviously, you guys know, I've met the VP of, and I still talk to her too, of Production IG. I've met the mangaka of Food Wars. My plushie is signed by them. I talked to the director of, I talked to a long-time Aniplex director. I actually talked to him earlier. I talked to him last night, actually. I talked to go look at my likes, on Twitter. I talk to mangaka all the freaking time. I talk to, people in the anime industry, all the time. Who else have I talked to? I know I met some... Oh, yeah, I met... At E3 2018, I met Urian Brown. I gotta invited to go I think I got invited to go on the Shonen Jump podcast and go visit the Viz building. I never got to go. I still would like to go, but I never got to, and it really, really sucks. Fucker, you should still let me go. I would still like to go. Who else did I meet? Oh my god. I met quite a few people. Like industry people. I'm trying to think, who else did I meet? Oh, now I remember. I've talked to football. I've been on NFL Network twice, and I've talked to people like Maurice Jones-Drew, and apparently Maurice Jones-Drew recognized me because he went to the high school right by me, and apparently he recognized me. I didn't tell him my real name though, so he's kind of pissed that he was mad I didn't, because I think he knew who I was. But yeah, I've talked to Maurice Jones-Drew. I'm still friends with I talk to NFL. I don't talk to them as much as I used to, but I talk to like NFL network contributors all the time. I used to talk to football players all the time too, actually. But you know what I mean? But yeah, but the thing is I don't let them take advantage of me. I never let them take advantage. I knew there was a point. That's the thing is, you gotta, my point is, before I went off on a tangent, the thing is when it comes to like powerful figures and stuff like that, you gotta know when to back off. You do. That's just in general. That's just in life. You have to know when to back off. And fuck that. You want to know? You know what? I'm gonna tell you this is just how because people want to know how I get. I'm gonna give you a little secret to my madness here today. You want to know how to get information sometimes from people, especially good tea. You just gotta read the room and use some good tact. Yeah. That's how I get really good information. Man, I should have just gotten a fucking degree in journalism. But anyways. See, I'm gonna read this right here. When I was still active, I was also invited to drinking parties. I was clueless about like every night. They just asked me to come because there were some powerful figures there. In reality, all I did was mix night workers and celebrities together. You couldn't even tell them apart. A place where sexual harassment and physical contact were the norm. There were even times when I felt like they were going to kiss me out of the blue. Hey, you know what? Depending on who they are. And hell, depending if they're a good kisser, it might be worth it. Just saying. Some of them are worried that if they refuse, their jobs will be cut short. See this right here! Some of them are worried that if they refuse, their jobs will be cut short. See what I mean about Irie? She chose to do this. While others are trying to hold back and fulfill the man's lust as much as they can. The more earnest a girl is, the more she gets taken advantage of. What did I fucking say? Treating young women like hostesses and forcing them to pour drinks for their boss isn't unique to this industry, though. They've continued to deprive women of their right to refuse. Motherfucker, you can refuse any time. You have the right to refuse. It's called walking away. Young girls should be the one pouring drinks. They've continued to deprive women of their right to refuse. You know what? I'm going to include men in this conversation too. Because men, yeah, you guys are definitely included in this conversation as well. They've continued to deprive women of their right to refuse by instilling in them the idea that something that shouldn't happen is the right thing to do. The entertainment industry is more than just wicked. And the entertainment world where lookism is at peak, where sex and beauty are goods for sale, where even the ability to say no is taken away, and the idea of being forced to have sex is right. Just how far can a person be right? Again, you could make the argument, especially when you're talking about young women, like under the age of 18. Well, obviously, this is depending where they're at. if we're talking about like under the age of 18, situation here, then you can say that's grooming. But the thing is, though, you have a choice. I know you have what this is saying here. They're trying to take the right to refuse. Motherfucker, you still can say no. You still, and I know I've been in situations like this where you feel like you can't say no. Motherfucker, you could still say no. The only time where you might not be able to feel like you could say no is if you are extremely inebriated. That's the only time where you feel like you might not be able to say no. There's the career and stuff. I know you're going to probably tell me in the comments, what about the career? Yeah, you say no and your career is fucked. But still, you could say no, and then guess what? You can expose the motherfuckers. And yeah, you might be blacklisted, sure. You could be blacklisted, sure, but exposing these motherfuckers, it would definitely be satisfying and worth it. And also, you know what? Here's the other thing too, and this is why you need to know your rights and why California is amazing, and actually, I would say federal too. This is a federal law as well. It's called retaliation. There's wrongful termination and there's retaliation. Yeah, I love employee rights. You gotta know your rights, for sure. But that just depends on where you're working at too. In the entertainment industry, it's a little bit different, obviously. But the thing is, though, you can make a shit ton of money exposing motherfuckers like this. You can. I mean, especially nowadays with social media and with YouTube and all that, you could go on TV and make a shit ton of money just exposing motherfuckers like this. You're exposing the disgust. You can. That's what you do nowadays. Before, you know what? I'm going to say this. Before, yes, I will agree that you maybe couldn't make that decision. Sure. But nowadays, you could say no. No problem. And not have to worry about it. But back then, yeah, you could say no, but then you're kind of screwed, and especially if you want to be in the industry. But now you could say no problem, and be like, fuck you, I'm just going to expose your ass instead. And also, if they try to rape you, fuck yeah, just say no. Just say no and be like, yeah, bitch, I'm going to report your ass. I'll file a police report your ass. Especially if they try to rape you. They still have to be right, or else they're done for. I lost both my mother and father because of that. That being said, you like bars and nightclubs. Don't tell them that. Modern people have holes in their hearts that can be filled with booze, you know. There are nights when they just want girls to smile at them, right, Aqua? Don't bring me into this. Do you understand how men feel? Hey, women are like this too. From a young age, that we're scum and losers. That's why I go to places as someone who protects the girls. If anything, I'm a drinking party cop who maintains public order at drinking parties. I bet you just want girls to think well of you. Well, in this day and age, you can protect yourself by not going to drinking parties if you're invited by suspicious people. My point was just proven! And I haven't heard much about where I've worked over the last See? My point is proven. I'm going to read this part again. Well, in this day and age, you can protect yourself by not going to drinking parties if you're invited by suspicious people. This. My point. And I haven't heard much about that where I've worked over the last decade, so I think things have gotten a lot better. Either that or you just don't know that it's happening. It still is happening. But still, there's darkness deep within this world. Again, my point. Just don't forget that. Good job, girls. Woo, hello, Titty. Whoa, you scared us. I thought a slut had entered our room. I'm wearing pasties. You're so comfortable with sex scenes, huh? Well, I told them I wanted to honor reality. Are you really okay with showing so much skin? Yep, I'll strip if I must. I want to put more effort into acting in the future, and I was thinking of doing it when I grew up anyway. It's important to emphasize that you can do anything for the sake of acting. You're really giving your all, huh? So, are you right, Ruby? It's almost time for your kissing scene with Aqua. Woo! you guys are siblings, but you're willing to go that far? I'm amazed. Oh my god! The twincest is coming. You know the shippers are living. Oh god, the twincest is coming. But this chapter was so powerful. I am happy with this. This is what, oh god, this video was so long. But this video needed to be long. This chapter was so important. Chapters like this are why I love Oshinoko. Especially in this day and age where, especially over what, like the past almost the past decade, where you have especially fucking women. These women piss me off. Where you have women, especially these asshole believe all women people. Oh my god, they piss me off. Where you have these women claiming that that they shouldn't be that they didn't do they didn't do anything wrong, that they shouldn't be that it wasn't consensual and all this shit. No, motherfucker, you chose to do the casting couch. You chose to go on the casting couch. It's all your fault, you fucking dumbass bitches. I'm glad this chapter exposed you, you dumb assholes. I'm happy with that. I really, really am. I really also do, again, I want to know from any of you grooming victims, whether you were groomed by, whether you're a guy, a girl, or in between, and if you were molested by any gender. I want to know what you guys think of this chapter. Was the perpetrator similar to Irie? I want to know what you guys, if that's the case, and what do you guys think about the casting couch culture? What do you guys think about what was said here, especially in regards to this? And do you guys agree that maybe like 30, 40 years ago, that it was a little bit that, yeah, you couldn't say no back then, especially if you were a woman, before the, say, women's rights movement? Yeah, I agree. Like, maybe before the women's rights movement, you couldn't say no. I definitely could agree with that before the women's rights movement, or say the civil rights movement. Yeah, I could definitely say that you couldn't say no back then. Sure, you could definitely probably make that argument. But post women's rights, post civil rights, especially hell, post what was the word I'm looking for? Post employees' rights laws as well, where you can file lawsuits for against employers for wrongful termination or retaliation and shit like that. It's different now. You can do that now. And you can say no to this. You have the right to say no. You, especially in the era of social media, you have the right to speak out against fuckery like this. Say no. And also, if you're gay, you have, I'll include gay rights in this too. You don't have to worry about being outed and having your career destroyed anymore. Because obviously, gay people were probably dealing with casting couch shit too. And now you are, and yeah, gay people were groomed, kids were groomed as well. Yes, I know. I'm including gay and lesbians. I'm including both of you too. This is an inclusive channel for that, for everyone here in that regard, because we're all human here, and we all go through experiences like this. I was never molested or anything like that, or groomed, thank God. But I know that in Hollywood does really shitty things. And obviously, probably back in the day, and probably still now, you had young boys getting molested by men. women getting molested by, girls getting molested by women to get ahead. You have this happening. You do. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I can see this, happening as well. But now, you know, and if you, back in the day, if you were outed, your career was destroyed. But now, you can come out and say no. You can, and it's okay. But I'm very curious what you guys think about this. And obviously, it's not just Hollywood that's doing this. It's everywhere. Political, The Office, and all that. Uh, uh, it's any career where you're doing this, but obviously Hollywood we're talking about, and entertainment we're talking about here. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What you guys thought of this chapter. Again, I'm not sorry this video was long, but this topic is so important. It is. I want to know what you guys thought of this chapter. What you guys especially what you guys think about the concept of saying no, compared back in the day compared to now. And do you guys agree with me that, like, pre civil rights, women's rights, all that, that maybe you could make the argument that that it was different, that yeah, you didn't have the right to say no, but now there's no excuse for it, especially in the era of social media? Or do you think even back then you could have still said no? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing. You want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Oshinoko content. A few ways you can do that. Donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon. Purchase something off our Amazon wishlist. All that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord. Friend us on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. And until next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.